good people? Welcome back to Viewpoint Abroad. I'm John, and today I got something special for you. Yeah, you. Today, man, I'm gonna take you on a little trip with me. All right, we're gonna go outside, and I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about driving in China. So, I'm gonna take you guys to the car, man. You guys can jump in the passenger seat with me, and you guys can see what I see while I'm driving. And we'll talk all about driving here. I'll tell you everything you need to know about, how to, the driver's license and what it's like driving. And you can look around and see everything. We'll cover everything related to driving in China today. So while we driving, man, I'll probably switch back and forth between the footage. Like, you'll see some of the road, and I'll be talking to you guys, all about driving, and you'll see some of my face. So I don't want to keep it, you guys get too bored if you're just looking at one thing all the time, right? So we'll switch it up. We'll go back and forth while we're talking, and you'll see all the stuff that I see. You can have a look around, a little bit around China and see the streets, what it's like to be out there on the road, man. So we're gonna do that today. Actually, right now, see, I'm at work. I'm in the office, and there's somebody doing something crazy right outside my office door. Anyway, we at the office. I got 3 hours for lunch, so I'm about to go out to, I'm not even gonna say the name because those people ain't paying me, but you can probably guess. But I'm gonna go out at lunchtime, and I'm gonna grab me some coffee, and I'm just gonna kind of hang out for a bit and chill. I got 3 hours, so I'm gonna go grab some coffee. You guys can come with me. I'm just gonna hang out, drink some coffee, get my mind right before I come back to work. 3 hours. I'll be tired and lazy if I just, do nothing. And I'm off from the gym today, not doing any exercise today, so figure out just to go drink some coffee and chill for a bit. So take you guys over there with me, and I'm gonna bring you back too. So don't worry, I won't leave you stuck over there. So my car is just right outside here in the parking lot, right? So you guys go on out there, meet me out there. I'll be there in just a minute, and so you can go on, get in, put your seatbelt on, get ready, because we're going for a ride. And I'll see you at the car in a minute. All right, let's go. Hey, you made it. Thanks for showing up. So now, like I said earlier, you guys can sit here in the passenger seat with me. Put the seatbelt on. We're gonna go for a ride. Talk all about driving in China. And I guess the first thing is the seatbelt, right? It's the law. You gotta wear the seatbelt. If you get caught without a seatbelt, you gotta pay a fine. It's 200 RMB, which is roughly like about $35, something like that. I don't know the exact amount in US dollars. I've been here too long, I can't remember the conversion, but anyway, it's 200 RMB. I think it's roughly around the $35 mark for not wearing a seatbelt. And there's cameras everywhere, so the cameras will take your picture or whatever. And if they take your picture and you ain't got your seatbelt on, you gotta pay up, man. So let's get going. I'm at school right now. I'm about to leave. We're gonna pull out, and I'll take you guys on a little drive with me together. So let's go. Okay, so here we go, man. We're at work. Pulling out of here. It's raining today, y'all. Actually, right now it's let me turn this camera this way a little bit. Right now it's typhoon season. So it's summer, but it rains like all the time because typhoon season. It'll probably be like this. It's been raining almost every day actually, but not a lot. Like, it'll rain, like this kind of rain for a little bit, and then it'll get hot and sunny. I'm at the door, man. Wait for this guy, the security guy, to come let us out so we can get on the road. Can't talk today. We're gonna get on the road. Go get this coffee. Thank you. All right. So, what I want to say, man, I guess the first thing I'm going to tell you guys about driving in China is you got to have patience, because it's a little crazy sometimes, man. It gets hectic, and if you don't have patience, you're going to be angry all the time, because there's always some crazy stuff happening. So, number one, you gotta have a little bit of patience. I kind of take it like I'm on vacation or something, man. I just like, cause I'm overseas. Technically, I guess I am on vacation. So I just try to keep that a vacation mindset. Like I'm just relaxing, you know, taking it easy. So if you do that, it'll prevent you from being so angry all the time. So right here, we just getting out. I'm gonna get out here to the main street. You ain't gonna see much right here. Maybe a little bit boring. So we're gonna change views. So you got my face again. So it's not much to see right now. So I just talk to you guys right here. So the first thing, like I mentioned about the seatbelt, and what I was trying to tell you guys is that there's actually cameras everywhere. Like there's lots of cameras, like every intersection, traffic lights, and even just in random places along the road. There'll be some cameras, and they always taking pictures, always, all the time, 24/7. So if you do something wrong, you know, if you're speeding or you change lanes, you know, without signaling, or you cross the solid line and the line's not, you know, not broken, you know, the camera take your picture. You go through the red light, yellow light, camera take your picture. Anytime you pass by a camera, actually, it takes your picture, and if you're not wearing a seatbelt, they get you for that too. So how does that work? Basically, your car license plate number is attached to your identification and your cell phone number. Your cell phone number is also attached to your identification number. So anytime there's a traffic violation, you'll get a text message to your phone, and it'll say what you did wrong. Like it'll say, oh, you were speeding at this date and this location. It'll tell you the name of the street, what time, down to the second. It'll tell you everything. And then it'll also tell you, you know, you gotta send us some money. And also you lost the points from your license or something like that, right? So you get the message to your phone, and that's it, man. You just gotta pay them. So that's how that works. And also, like I just mentioned about the points, right? I don't know how many points you get in America. Anyway, here you get 12 points, and different violations are different amount of points. For example, like a simple parking violation they don't take any points. It's just you got to pay some money, right? And the same for the seatbelt. It's also not a points violation. You just pay some money. But other stuff are like points violations, like speeding, or go through the yellow light or red light, changing lanes with the, you know, the solid line, all this kind of stuff. They will take points from your license. And the number of points depends on on the violation, like, you know, how fast were you actually going, or all these kind of things, right? So that's how that works. And every year the points will reset. Not completely. Like say if I have 12 points and this year I lost 2, then once the whole year is over, I'll get the 2 points back, right? But you know, if like say I lost 2 today, then I lost, you know, 5 tomorrow. You know, it's not like a certain date that it completely resets. It resets from the date of the violation, right? So just keep that in mind. Now we're about to get on some traffic here. I'll let you guys have a look around in a minute. So anyway, also another thing to keep in mind is driving in China. You can't drive here with your, you know, driver's license from your home country. And also, you cannot drive here with an international driver's license. It's not accepted here. If you get caught driving here with an international driver's license, off to jail, right? You get to go to jail. So, if you want to drive here, you need a Chinese driver's license, okay? So the way to get that is through taking a driving test, okay? You have to take a driving test to get a Chinese driver's license. Now, if you have a driver's license in your home country, right? You can go to the DMV here and you show them that driver's license, and then you just have to sit down to take the written test, you know, on the computer, the computer test. And if you pass that test, then you get Chinese driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license from your home country, you have to start from scratch. So basically, you actually have to attend a driving school and go through all these different courses. And then once you complete and pass all of the courses, then you can take the written test. And then if you pass the written test, then you have another road course after that test. And then after that, then you get your Chinese driver's license. So with that, the driver's license, the test, they have a Chinese version. Obviously, this is China, but they also have an English version of the test. But the thing is, the English version is kind of like in Chinglish, and it doesn't really make much sense. You know, actually the Chinese version is a little bit easier than the English version, because the English version, like, there's so many words and stuff that don't make any sense at all. Like, it's hard to even comprehend what they're talking about. So if you don't know Chinese, taking the English test might be a bit of a challenge, and you'll really have to study for that in order to pass it. Not that it's extremely difficult, it's just difficult to understand their use of the language because they didn't use it properly on the test. So it's kind of funny. But as far as the driving goes and the tests and stuff, like, it's all basic, the same stuff that applies back home, but pretty much applies here. The rules of the road are the same. So the only thing that's really going to be different is going to be like the road signs and stuff are obviously going to be different because they're in Chinese language. Some of them are in English, but most are Chinese. And but they're also very different as far as pictures and what they want you to do. So you really got to study the road signs. So where we at? Oh yeah, I was talking about the road signs. See, right now we're almost where we're going to. You can see here in front of me, we just driving along here on this. This is actually a highway that goes from one side of town to the other. The speed limit's 80, and right now we're going 45. So it's typical, man. Like I said, you gotta have some patience. What were we talking about? Oh, the road signs and the laws. Like, see this right here on the left. See this solid line? Even though it's white, you still can't pass on this line. The cameras up there, I don't know if you can see them in the distance. There's cameras up there flashing. I can see them. I hope you guys can see them. But I'll try to point it out. See right here in front of me, I don't know if you can see that. Right above us right there. See that white thing? All those cameras. There's a bunch of them up there. And they take a picture of every single car that comes down the road. And if you're going fast, they'll get you. Not wearing a seatbelt, they'll get you. So like I mentioned earlier, then these things are everywhere. We'll pass by a bunch of them. So oh yeah, I was talking about the road signs. The road signs are different, but the laws are the same. So passing the test, it's not too complicated. It's pretty easy, and it's also relatively inexpensive. It's like I think when I took the test, it cost me like $50 or something like that. But I don't know. That was 11 years ago. I've been here for 11 years, and I've been driving here for 11 years, and so I took the test a long time ago. So I don't know sure about the cost of it now, but I know the test is still the same with the crazy Chinglish and stuff. So anyway, we're about to get off the highway right here, and we're gonna head over here to the coffee shop. You can see on the side, we got these little motorcycles. They just kind of drive wherever they want, like there's some on the shoulder, some actually driving in the lane. There's like lots of scooters too, like little tiny scooters, like 100 cc, something like that. And even the electronic scooters, like there's a bicycle, there's a scooter there, right? Yeah, there's an electronic scooter over there. So, man, the scooters, technically, the scooters and motorcycles, anything that's on wheels, even bicycles, they're supposed to follow the rules of the road, the same rules the cars follow, but they don't. They do what they want. So you got to be careful about that. Here, basically, the bigger you are, the more at fault you are. It's like if you crash into one of these motorcycle drivers, even if it's their fault, if they've made a mistake and did something wrong, then you're still at fault. So you have to be really, really careful about that, and you just got to be aware all the time. Like, look at this guy, he's just sitting out in the middle of the intersection, and he's just gonna go. Look, he's just gonna go block the traffic. There's no traffic light here. He just decides to just go. So that's how it is, man. You just got to have patience, because this stuff happens all day long, every day. You'll go crazy if you get mad about it. So be patient. Like I mentioned over here, this ain't downtown center or nothing like that. So we kind of like in the outskirts of town on a different like little, I guess you would call it a town. It's not the downtown center of the city. So over here it's not so busy, not so much traffic. So yeah, it's not too bad over here. I actually live in downtown center though, so it's a little worse over there, but not terrible. Not terrible. See this? What's going on up here? These people up here probably doing something crazy. So we're almost to our destination. We're just a couple of minutes away. It's right around the corner here. Actually, I'll show y'all real quick, and then I'll switch off to my face. Let y'all see my face again. So right here's the corner. Oh, there's some more cameras. I don't know if you see them or not. See right there in front of us, there's a shopping mall right there, and there's a coffee shop on the corner there. We're gonna go grab some coffee, hang out over there. So here we go, man. You can see some more traffic and motorcycles and stuff, and a little bit of construction going on. This area is actually being newly developed. It's old, but it's being redeveloped. They're trying to update this whole area, so there's a lot of like new buildings and new construction and stuff going on, stuff like that. So anyway, what was that, man? I forgot what I was talking about. The driving test, we covered that. We covered the points, covered the chaos. Insurance, right? Driving here is the law. You must have insurance. You cannot drive without insurance. You can't even get a car license plate number without insurance. Now the insurance here, in my opinion, I think it's relatively affordable. It's not a bad deal. The car I'm driving now, well, it's not a new car now. It was a new car. I bought this car new in like 2016. We have full coverage insurance on this car, and it costs about, let's see, $3,700, about $400 for 1 year of full coverage insurance. Now my other car, I have here it's crazy, man. My other car, I got an SUV. It's a bigger car, but it's older, so I just have liability on that. But it's got like a pretty big engine, so all those things, are a factor when you're talking about insurance. But on that car, I got just liability only, and that one I pay about $200 for 1 year. But it's got a bigger engine. If you have a smaller car with a smaller engine, then the price will go down. So it really just depends on your car, how new it is, how old it is, the engine size, all of those things. That's like the biggest factors when it comes to the price of insurance. But generally speaking, you're gonna pay $150 to $500 for 1 year of insurance. And that can be from this liability to full coverage. Generally, it won't be more than $500 a year unless you're driving some luxury car. I mean luxury because there's lots of them, like Bentleys and Ferraris and this kind of shit. It's different, but I don't know if you guys will be driving those or not. I doubt it, and I'm not driving them either. But an average car, your BMW, Mercedes, or Nissan, Honda, Toyota, whatever, all those cars, it's gonna be $500 a year or less for your insurance coverage. So anyway, I'm parking here, man. I don't know if you guys can see that behind me or not. I got a camera down here that I can see everything. So anyway, I'm here at the coffee shop. I'm gonna go ahead and get some coffee. Before we go, I'll show you guys one more thing. Take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see that sign right there in front of me? This little sign right here. See that? There's a QR code on that. See that? Now, how that works is, whenever you park anywhere in China, you have to pay, right? You can't park anywhere for free. You got to pay. So whenever you want to leave from a place, you just take out your phone. And in China, we have an app, and it's called WeChat. I think it came out like 2012 or 2013. I can't remember. Anyway, a long time ago. Anyway, we have an app called WeChat. And WeChat is kind of like, I don't know how to explain it if you guys don't know. It's kind of like Facebook in a way, but better. It's like 10 times better than Facebook, actually. Anyway, it's like everything you do is on the app, right? You can chat with friends, you can handle your work, and you also pay for everything. China right now is a cashless society. There's no cash. Like, you can't use cash for nothing. Like, I go like pay for this parking, I scan that QR code I just showed you with my app, and then it takes the money out, and then I can leave the parking lot. If you don't pay, you can't leave. But there's no people to pay, right? There's no cash. So you just got to scan these codes and pay that way. And then also, as far as, I'll tell you about that real quick too, as far as cashless goes, nobody's taking cash anymore, man. Like, I can't even go in here and buy this coffee with cash. They won't take it. They'll say, sorry, sir, we don't take cash. And you got to pay with the app on the phone. So, you get turned down for having cash. So, some places will accept it, especially like a bigger place will most of the time. But usually you got to pay with cash. I mean, not pay with cash, you got to pay with the app. They won't let you pay with cash. So, anyway, I'm here right now. I'm going to go over here and get my coffee and chill. And then I'm going to take you guys back to work. And on the way back, I'll tell you guys some more stuff that you need to know about driving in China. So, I'll be back in a little bit, a couple hours. I'm going to chill for a while. There you go. You can see, man, we got the coffee here. We just out here just relaxing, man. Enjoying life. Watching time go by, man. Taking it easy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in the car. We going back to work now. Well, we about to go back to work. I'm still sitting in the parking lot. We going back to work now, and we'll finish our discussion about driving in China. So first, I'm gonna scan this QR code. Like I told you earlier, I'm gonna scan this code and pay. I gotta pay for parking here. We'll talk about that in a minute too. I'm gonna pay for this shit, and then we'll get on the road and we'll talk a little bit more. All right. So let's do it. All right. So we're pulling out now. I paid already. Paid for my parking. We're gonna get back on the road and go back to work. So let me see, man. See, I'll show you this while we're going out. Then we'll talk about it. So you have this little booth right here. There's no people inside though. You just gotta scan the code to pay. But anyway, there's like a little arm here. See, it's scan my license plate number. It says that I paid already. So we can leave now, right? So we're gonna go ahead and leave. We're gonna get out here on the road and go back to work. So what I was gonna tell you guys, because I just thought about this, it just came off the top of my head, but about paying for parking, right? You have to pay for parking everywhere, all right? So you go to the shopping mall, you gotta pay money to park there. Even at your home, right? When you go home, well, I guess I'll tell you guys about that. Most people don't have, houses, right? We kind of live in condos here, and you have to pay to park there, of course. So parking fees here depends on the city, how much you'll pay, right? So like here in this city right now, I just parked at the shopping mall, to get my coffee, and it cost me less than $1. It was like 75 cents or something, and for like 2 hours parking. Now, most of the shopping malls around here in this city, well, a lot of cities in China are the same. Like you'll pay about $2, $1 to $2 for parking in most cases. Sometimes $3. If you're in the bigger city, right, the big mega cities, your Beijings and Shenzhens and Guangzhous and Shanghai, you're gonna pay a lot more for parking, a lot more. You'll pay $5, $10 for 1 hour even. Now, even at your home, like I said, when you go to, you live in the condos, the big high-rise buildings and stuff, you got to pay for parking there. And like in the smaller cities, you can generally expect to pay 200 to 300, well, that's not dollars, renminbi per month, which is roughly about $35 to $50 a month is what you pay to park your car where you live. Now, if you're in the big city, like Shenzhen, Shanghai, whatever, like I was recently in Shanghai, man, I paid $120 a month just to park my car in a parking space, and it wasn't even like a designated parking space. It's just kind of like fight for a parking space type of deal. If you want your own designated parking space, that costs a lot more money, a few thousand. So you're gonna pay a couple $100 a month for parking. I would probably budget about $300 a month for parking. That's for parking at home and parking at the shopping mall and restaurants when you go out to eat and all of that. It's going to cost you a few $100s a month in most cases. So that's another thing to consider. Also, I'll tell you guys about this, man. In China, the infrastructure is amazing, right? And especially in the big cities, which most people who come here, most people end up going to the bigger cities, to Shenzhen, Shanghai, Guangzhou, those places, and the infrastructure is amazing, and the public transportation is really great. Like the buses, it's like a quarter, 25 cents or something to ride a bus, which is like, like 1 or 2 renminbi, something like that. So you pay like 25 cents something to ride a bus somewhere. To get on the subway, also really cheap. Some cities it's just like 25 cents for a whole trip, and in other cities they charge you by the distance. But generally speaking, you could spend $1 maybe $1.50 tops to ride the subway, right? So in the big cities, it's actually faster and more convenient and cheaper to just take the subway or take the bus. But in the smaller cities, like where I'm at, this city doesn't even have a subway, so it's not very convenient to live far away from your work unless you drive a car like me, right? If you're not going to drive, then live near where you work. But for me, I drive, so I live a little bit further from my work because I want to live in a better area than where my work is at. So that's why I do that. But Big city, man, I wouldn't even recommend getting a car because all the extra expenses. You know, you have the car, you got to pay for insurance, you got to pay for car maintenance, you got to pay for parking the car, and it adds up really fast, the amount of money you'll be spending monthly, as opposed to not owning a car and just paying for public transportation. Even paying for taxis is quite cheap here, a couple of dollars. So you know, it's not really worth it to go through the trouble of buying a car, paying insurance, paying parking, and all of that if you're in a big city. Because for one, you're spending a lot of extra money, and for two, it'll take you twice as long to get anywhere. The same drive that takes you an hour and a half, you can get there on the subway in 10 or 15 minutes for a fraction of the cost. It costs you like $1 to get there on the subway, and if you drive the car, you spend an hour and a half, and you're also paying the $10 or $15 for parking. So you got to pay for all this stuff, and also the highway fees. If you get on the highway, they have, every highway has a toll, right? A highway fee. You got to pay that, which also in most cases it's not really expensive, but you can expect $1 to $2 if you're around the city. If you're going longer distance, then you're going to pay a lot more. So that's another thing to consider. So now that we talked about the parking and the highway fees and stuff, man, I don't even know what else to tell you guys. I told you about the insurance, and I'll tell you guys this part. When it comes to the owning a car here, I learned this the hard way, but sometimes having a really nice car isn't worth the money, man. People here, just because there's so many people here, right? And there's a limited amount of space. So if you have like a really big car, like the parking spaces are really small. So you'll have trouble having adequate space to park your car, because actually there's a lot of big cars here, but the parking spaces are so small, so everything's so tight, and it never fails. Like literally every single week I find a new scratch on my car. Somebody throws the door open and hits the car, you got scratches on your car. Or people, they park so close to you, and when they back out, they'll scrape up against your car, and you'll come out and see paint marks on your car where people scraped up against it. You'll see scratches where people threw the door open, and dents. And I literally find a new one almost every week, and there's nothing you can do about it, like, because people would just do that and leave, and you have no idea who done it, because there's so many people, so many cars. Like, you might show up and park beside a car, you come back, that car's gone, there's another car, and 4 or 5 cars will change parking spaces, and you'll have no idea who did it. So that's another thing to consider. It's just, if you do decide to buy a car here, I personally wouldn't recommend buying a really expensive car unless you want to keep paying to fix it all the time, or you just want a car that looks, whatever, that's going to look like crap because it's full of dents and scratches and all that stuff. So I would actually recommend just getting like a reliable, cheap secondhand car, or a reliable, cheap new car, which is what I'm driving now. Like, we got this car quite cheap. We got this brand new in 2016. This is a Nissan, by the way. It wasn't too expensive. It was like about $12,000 or $13,000, brand new. And but I wouldn't buy another. This is the second new car I've had in China. The first one was a Chinese brand car, which is actually pretty good. I actually really like that car. But just the way things are here, man, it's not really worth it to spend that much on a car. The other car, this is actually my old lady's car. The car that I usually drive is an SUV. I got like a really big SUV, a big engine and big 4-wheel drive, and all that stuff. But it's older, my car's older, and it's got some wear and tear on it. But I like it like that, just because I don't get too upset or bent out of shape. If somebody throws the door open and scratches it, and it's okay, I don't care. Not a big deal. I paid like $4,000 for the car or something, so it's not a huge deal when you drive something like that, as opposed to if you go out and buy a Mercedes or something and you spend like $60,000 on it, and then you've had it 2 days, and then there's a big scratch down the side of it. One happened to one of my friends recently. Well, BMW, not a Mercedes, but you get my point, right? So that's how it is, man. If you want to drive here, get a car, I would just suggest that you just get a decent second-hand reliable car, so you ain't got to worry too much about the damage done to it. It's going to get some damage. That's just how it is. You have this many people on the road and this such close quarters, it's going to happen. So just my 2 cents on that. So anyways, man, we're almost back to work. I'm just like about 2 minutes away, maybe 3 minutes. I'll just let you guys ride with me on the rest of this trip. One of the things here about the cars you will see is a lot of times you'll see some different cars here than what you guys see at home, because we have lots of brands here, lots of Chinese brands that they don't sell in other places. And even the regular brands, man, like your Hondas and Toyotas and Nissans and stuff, they have different models than what they have in other countries, especially in America. It's totally different. Even like, your Fords and Chevys, they have different ones here that you guys have never seen before. And so you'll see a lot of different stuff like that. And right now in China, like China is like kind of the EV capital of the world, the electric cars. We have so many electric cars on the road and all different brands and all different shapes and sizes. So you'll see a lot of them here in China. And there's a Tesla over there. There's an Xpeng. I see a Neo. Lots of electric vehicles right here, just right there on the other side. And also here the buses, man. Like, see the bus over there on the right? That's electric, man. All the public transportation here is electric. So the buses that everybody takes to and from work, all that stuff is all pure electric. So here, man, we got some guy that stopped in the middle for some reason. I don't know what he's doing, but you get this stuff all the time, man. So when almost there, we're gonna go up here and hang a left, and then we'll be back to work. So if you guys want to hang in there for just a minute, we're gonna end this video here in just a couple of seconds, about 1 minute or so. It's quite bad right here, but today I guess it's lunchtime. Everybody's at work or sleep or whatever. So when I mean sleep, they really do sleep. Here we got the 3 hours lunch, so everybody be sleep, taking naps and stuff. Guitar man, look at Guitar man. So yeah, man, we almost to work. I'm at the next block, one more block away, and we're gonna touch down at our final destination. I'm gonna get back to work. I'll take you guys in with me though, so if you guys want to see, let's show you guys the entrance into work. You see some different little cars around here too. While we pulling in, you might see something interesting. I don't know. So I'll tell you guys about this guy. If I can get over there, you can see him. Maybe not. I don't know if I'll make it or not. Nah, you're not gonna see him. We'll get him next time. So anyway, we back here at work. And we got the kindergarten there, and then here's the main campus here, the primary, middle, high school right there in front of us. Let me go in here and park the car. Still got my coffee, almost done drinking it. See if the security is here. They might, looks like they not here. I'm gonna have to let myself in. So here we are back at the school gate. See if I can get in or not. Yeah. So I got out, but the guy came to open it for me, so that's nice of him. He didn't have to come out here. It's hot outside, man. The people here are quite nice. So here we are back at work, and I got this beeping nonsense. Hear that? I gotta find me a parking spot. I guess I'll park right here. Can't talk when I'm parking, man. Alright, so we touched down. Alright, so back at work. Almost done with the coffee. I'm gonna go back in here and get some work done. I got some meetings to do later, and so anyway, I'm glad you guys could come along with me. I appreciate it. If you stayed for the whole video, cool. Like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have any questions about driving in China, or actually any questions about China, anything you're curious about, just leave a comment and let me know, and I can make a video about that, or I can answer your question, you know, reply to you, get back with you. All right, so I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all. Hold up.